The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for HDSA's special webinar for professionals on obtaining Social Security disability benefits for Huntington's disease. This is Jane Kogan, HDSA's Education and Advocacy Manager. Today, we have a panel of experts from the Social Security Administration. Michelle Schaefer, a supervisor in the Office of Disability Programs, will be the moderator of our program. The Office of Disability Programs, or ODP, focuses on the development and interpretation of disability policy and oversees the Compassionate Allowances Initiative for expediting the processing of claims involving conditions that are so severe that they obviously meet Social Security's definition of disability. Ms. Schaefer will also be joined by several experts who will also be presenting. Rosemary Hollow is a Program Policy Officer at the Office of Disability Programs. Ruth Trent is a Program Analyst at the Office of Disability Determination. Sean Ashburn is a Program Analyst at the Office of Disability Programs. Dr. Juan Trancoso is a neurologist from the Office of Medical and Vocational Evaluation, or OMVI. Dr. Charles Lawrence is a clinical psychologist from the Office of Medical and Vocational Evaluation. Thank you to all of our experts for being here today. Before we begin our presentation, I'm going to go over how to ask a question, as well as how to access this webinar after broadcast. All of the questions will be answered after the completion of the formal presentation. However, please send your questions at any time. To send your question, just go to the control panel that appears on the right-hand side of your screen, type in your question right here, and hit send. This webinar is also being recorded and will be available for viewing approximately 1 week after broadcast on the HDSA National website. To access the presentation, you can go to www.hdsa.org/disability. You'll be able to view the webinar recording as well as download a copy of the presentation. And now I'm very pleased to turn it over to the Social Security Administration.
Okay. 1 minute, please.
Yes.
Yes.
No, I mean, say yes.
Yes.
And click on that.
So on my screen. Okay.
All right.
Good?
Should they? Yeah, I'm just trying to make it Oh my God. It's right there.
Is it okay, Tim? Did you start?
As long as I can see it.
Thank you, Jane, and thank you so much for inviting the Social Security Administration to participate in this webinar. My name is Michelle Schaefer, and as Jane said, I'm a supervisor in the Office of Disability Programs. And you've already been introduced to our my SSA colleagues who are experienced, knowledgeable experts who are here going to present information to you and answer your questions. We'll also have joining us Deborah Dennis, who's a program analyst in the Office of Disability Programs, and she will answer any questions you may have about compassionate allowances. So she'll be available at the end with the question and answer period. Our presentation today focuses on the medical evidence we need to fully evaluate a disability claim, how we evaluate medical evidence we received, including information on physical and mental functional limitations, particular listings that we frequently use to evaluate HD, the best method of getting medical evidence to us, and today we set aside quite a bit of time for you to ask questions. So we'll have a question and answer session after we complete our presentation. We focused a lot on the medical evidence this webinar, but if you'd like more information on the SSA disability application process, I suggest that you view the webinar we held on April 29, 2013, Applying for Disability Benefits for HD, the SSA Perspective. Art Spencer, our Associate Commissioner for the Office of Disability Programs, presented at that meeting, and it has some good information about the program and some other things that we aren't covering today. So let's get started with the webinar. Rosemary, why don't you give us the start with this?
Okay. My name is Rosemary Hall. I work for Art Spencer in the Office of Disability Programs and the Associate Commissioner. Our first slide, we have the definition of disability. The law defines disability as the inability to do any substantial gainful activity by reason of any medically determinable physical or mental impairment, which can be expected to result in death or which has lasted or can be expected to last for a continuous period of not less than 12 months. To meet this definition, a claimant must have a severe impairment or impairments that makes him or her unable to work. Oh, hold on. There, okay. SSA uses a 5-step sequential evaluation process. At step 1, we consider the claimant's work activity. The claimant must not be doing substantial gainful work activity. Step 2, we consider the medical severity of the claimant's impairment or impairments. Evidence must show the claimant has a severe, medically determinable impairment or impairments that meets the duration requirements. Step 3, if the claimant's impairment or impairments meets or equals a listing and meets the duration requirements, then we will find the claimant disabled. In a disabled child's claim, that is a child under 18, we determine whether the child's impairment or impairments functionally equals the listing. At step 4, we consider our assessment of the claimant's residual functional capacity and the claimant's past relevant work. The claimant must not be able to do his or her past relevant work. And at step 5, we consider the claimant's residual functional capacity and his or her age, education, and work experience to see if the claimant can make an adjustment to other work. The claimant must not be able to make an adjustment to other work to be allowed. Development of evidence. The DDS and SSA adjudicators receive evidence in many different ways. We can get it through the mail. We can get it by telephone. And we can get it by fax. We have an electronic records express or ERE application that Ruth Trent will be talking about shortly. And we can get medical records through the Health Information Technology